Alright guys, so welcome to another tier list. I have not done a tier list in a long time, but this is my first time doing a tier list for Overwatch, which is actually kind of funny because I've done not just a tier list, but I've done two tier lists on Street Fighter. So, but I play Overwatch more in Street Fighter, which is weird. So I thought like, you know what? Overwatch definitely deserves a tier list, and I will do more. I will do more on Overwatch, and I will do tier lists on other things. Generally on the main channel, I'm going to stick to like more specific things. I think I'll do tier lists of more general stuff, like what's your favorite, I don't know, soda and stuff like that on probably the second channel, because I think those are like I want to spread it out a little more, because otherwise it gets a little congested. And also tier lists are just easy videos to do. Kind of. This is troublesome because Overwatch has a lot of characters. And if you saw the title, you know we're going to do the most enjoyable characters to play. The most fun to play is probably what I titled it as. We have up until Maga, so we're updated on the characters. Obviously to Maga, and there's going to be a huge roster. I know Maga just came out, so it's probably not, and some characters, they definitely, get buffed, and there's been some reworks. For context, I'm going to keep this kind of general when I say this. I'm well aware some characters are going to get their reworks and stuff, but I wanted to wait until like maybe Roadhog's rework came out, which it did, and we got the newest hero, like we were up to date. So now the timing is as good as any time to kind of go over this. Again, I have to preface this, like with any tier list, this is an objective opinion. No, I'm kidding. This is a subjective opinion, which means it's my opinion. It's not fact. Don't get salty, but that still happens anyways. I'm well aware of that. If your hero is low on this list, they're not fun to play. Maybe you find them fun to play, but I don't think they're fun to play. Anyways, let's get into this because there's going to be a few. All right, let's start with Manga. I'm actually just going to go in order of what this is showing, which is tank, DPS, and then we'll get the support. So I'm going to start with Manga. Maga's up here. Like, Maga is up here. For me personally, Maga is S tier. Maga is like one of my favorite characters to play. I love him even when he's not doing too hot, like in terms of when he's not as buffed as he should be, like right at the beginning when he first came out, not in season 8, but like when we had the beta. But yeah, Maga is S tier. To summarize, like the shooting, the burning, the crits, I think his charge is way better than certain characters. I have tried every character, just to be clear. I have tried every character, some a little more than others, but for me, some of the stuff he has is just better than other characters. I'll probably go into that later. But as a tank, also I'm not going to specify on role too much, and I'm not going to spend too much time, but Maga, pretty good. Diva, in mech, up here. Out of mech, I'm kind of wishing I was back in mech. I'm going to put her B tier. Doom. Okay, if you know what you're doing with Doom, he's up here. If you don't know what you're doing with Doom, he's like a D tier. I'm going to put him at B. I would love to put him in A. I think he's B. I think some people would probably put him C. It's my list, but I think he's C. Yeah. Diva's more enjoyable, I think, for a lot of people. But it's my list. I'm going to put him B. Junker Queen, S tier. I love Junk. I love her. She's great. Orisa, C tier, because even though it can be really fun, it's usually if you're bad at the game and you don't like, using your resources that are kind of limited, because she can kind of like, her stuff is limited. They have cooldowns, but that's it. Like, aside from that, you just eat stuff and you get compensated for doing a lot of nothing. So that's not really fun for me. Ramatra, I'll say A tier. The only reason why he's not S tier is because I still think, even with his buffs, his regular Omnic form, you're kind of just standing there. You're waiting until you get to have fun, but it's better waiting than Diva. Diva's is a little like, Baby Diva is just, it's rough to deal with. Reinhardt, D tier. Okay, Reinhardt, let me go through this. Reinhardt can be super, super fun when it's working, but Reinhardt has always, and I mean continuously, since the beginning of Overwatch 2, this is an Overwatch 2 tier list. I'm not going into Overwatch because I didn't play it. He sucks to play. Oh my god. Like, he's such a good, like, fun character at a surface level. But when you actually play it, you start realizing every Reinhardt main that complains has every right to complain. The character sucks to deal with. Like, I can't play this character without getting punished. I just can't. Like it's so tough. And every time I'm facing a Reinhardt, I pity the fool. I pity the fool who picks this guy up. Like genuinely. Sorry if that's like a hot take, you know, like if some of you guys would say like, oh no, but it's C tier. But the thing is, you don't get punished that hard with Orisa. With Reinhardt, you just this is not who's a better character. This is who's more enjoyable to play. Reinhardt is not fun to play. I'm just gonna be honest. You know what? I could put him up to C tier, but I'm trying to look at the list. Is there anyone? There's like one or two that I would put in F. Uh, I don't know if I put in C tier. Like, you can have a lot of things you can do, which could boost him to C tier, but I'm putting him D tier. Just because, like, even the stuff I can do, like his shield. Oh, you got a shield. Oh, you have charge. Charge half the time, you just get fucked for it. Like, oh, you got a good pin? Yeah, well, you might die. Because everything else is just got CC out of the wazoo. And then, like your shield, you just get cooked. You just get cooked. Yeah, use cover. Okay, cool. But anytime I ever pull out my shield when I actually just want to, push a little, I get destroyed. My shield is absolutely eradicated. I've had some good Reinhardt games, but they haven't been great. Like, I have had to graft for it. Like, really graft for it. Roadhog. Yeah, C tier. C, maybe B. I'd say C just because, like, if you're not landing your hooks, I like his rework. I think before I would have put him D. It's definitely improved him because it gives you a little bit more stuff to do, but like it's not really like intuitive. Like not intuitive. That's the wrong word. It's not engaging. It's not very engaging gameplay, like in terms of you being the person doing it. As much as like Doom or Diva, I feel like you're getting involved, you're doing stuff. Like the reason why Maga's up here is like even from range I'm doing things, close up I can still be doing things. You know what I mean? Like his range mechanic can be used close range. And Junker Queen, by the way, I didn't touch on Junker Queen, but I think it should be self-explanatory. Junker Queen has something for everything almost. Like there's a lot of stuff. It just has you can always do things. Something as simple as your punch, it's a stab when you get lifesteal. I mean like there's so many different things. Her axe, tossing, you got range, you got your shotgun, you got tons of different stuff. That's what I'm saying. It's like in terms of engagement, how fun and engaging is it actually to play the character? I think Road's been improved, but he's still he's in the middle of the pack, lower middle. Sigma, I'd say like B tier. Somewhere in between here. I'd probably say B, low B. He's definitely a low B kind of character to play. Like he's sort of enjoyable, but it's like it's one of those things where you're cycling through your stuff, right? You're cycling through your stuff, and I don't think you're ever really like. I don't think you're ever slaughtering through. Like I think the potential to like really like pop off with Sigma is not as enjoyable as like maybe some other characters. That's just me. But I think overall he's actually a pretty safe character to like have a decent time in Overwatch. Generally, if you want to have fun, Sigma's not bad. There's another tank that does a better job, and we'll get to them. Winston. If you can get Winston to pop off a little bit, he's up here. I think in general he's like over here. Winston's kind of fun. I know a lot of people will say no, Winston gets cooked. I mean, that's part of the game, right? You either get cooked or you're popping off. So I'll probably put him here. I think he's more fun than Doom because in general, like people can kind of like wiggle with what he can. Like he provides a little more security. While I think Doom, you have to really like, I don't know, just know your stuff like a lot more, and that can be I get a little bit be a little more extraneous. So like maybe it's not as fun. Okay, personally, I think Wrecking Ball is really fun, but in Overwatch 2, I have to admit he's not great. But I still think he's super fun. Controversial, I put him up here. I think he's a very fun character. Effective is a different story, but he is fun. He is fun to play. Like in general, his gameplay is super, super fun. Am I biased because these four are the tanks I play? Maybe. But there's another tank that I would actually say is up here, which is... actually, I don't know. I put Zarya... Okay, is Zarya more than... Zarya, to be fair, it's just a laser. I think, you know what? Never mind. I was going to put her A tier, but I feel like it is literally just a laser. Like, you're not doing anything else. I think it's the same thing as Winston, except it's like Sigma. It's like a Sigma Winston weird fusion where it's like you have the security of Winston in a sense without like cause Sigma, he has a shield, but his works a little differently. Like it's not like within combat, it's kind of like within spacing is kind of what you're playing with. Well, I feel like this is like you're it's more combat based. You're just kind of getting in there and you're brawling, which is cool. Yeah, I'd put Zarya up here. All right, that's tank. I think I'm comfortable with where everyone is here. I know Reinhardt. I'm sorry, it's harsh, but he's not F tier. He's definitely not F tier. You can eat because you can have fun. You can have fun, and it's not like even when you're having fun, you're not looking at it like it's just brain dead, right? Like it's like no, I actually have to graph for it, but I'm just saying it's just too. It's you get punished for it way too hard. Sorry if I spent too much on tank. Let's. I'm gonna speed through this a little more. Ash, I'm gonna put up here. Actually, you know what? She's more on the say. Sure. You see, if you're popping off with Ash, Dynamite's okay. I actually want to put it up here. Bastion, he's C tier. It's kind of simple, like what you're doing. Like, yeah, I don't feel like you're feeling like you're using a lot of skill here. Like the potential of like Bastion is kind of like, did I catch them off guard? And then is that fun? I mean, like, yeah, no. Like his ultimate is also not the most like fun thing. It's like it's actually it's pretty fun, like the skydive airstrike, but it's just Cassidy's actually really fun. He's not good, but he's actually really fun. If you High Noon, I think is such a fun gimmick, even though it's kind of not effective to be honest. Like if you see it coming, it's pretty telegraphed, and the way it works is sometimes not great. But I actually think in general he's a fun character. Um, I know his grenade has been changed, and that's kind of controversial, but I'd still call him fun. Echo could be up here, but I think Echo, if you're an Echo player, she's up here. I think if you're just someone that plays Overwatch, she's kind of here. Like I think there's too much. I think you have to be a little aware with Echo, like what you're doing. That kind of takes away from like the experience of it, I guess, a little bit. Uh, like the role play aspect of like what you're doing, it kind of like defeats the immersion a little bit because you're kind of too focused on like doing what you have to do, which is getting like your stickies in the right spot, and then like making sure you're using your beam at right points, because it's like half health and all those weird mechanisms, very specific niches that you kind of like take into consideration. Genji, I'm gonna put A tier. Actually, I'm gonna put Genji S tier. Just because Ninja, Robot Ninja, it's fun. It's actually fun. It works the way it's supposed to. It's just, is he ever good? Not really, but I have to put him up here. He's a fun hero to play. Hanzo, I'll put Hanzo here. Yeah, I'll put Hanzo here. It definitely feels good when you get a Hanzo arrow. Like I feel, if you get a headshot with Hanzo, it feels better than. It might feel better than any other character that gets a headshot. I think, maybe. Yeah. Well, there is one other one, but I would say that one's not really. Yeah, no, actually, yeah, I'd say Hanzo probably feels the best when you get a headshot. Yeah. Hanzo has the best feeling headshot. Like when you get it, it just feels the most satisfying. And he's got storm arrows and big dragon. Who's a good dragon? Junk. I think Junk's up here. Yeah, Junk's up here. I would personally put him here. Junk's up here. Yeah, I have to be fair. Junk's up here. May. Um, I don't know. I find May boring. Like, I mean, like, I hate her. To be fair, I do hate her, but I'm gonna try to take my bias away. I think it's kind of boring. Kind of boring. That's just me. I think she's very close to being up here, but I think she's more boring than. I just feel like the movement you're doing, like, you're not really. You're kind of just waiting. You're very reactive. I feel like, unless you're just throwing like shooting icicles, like you're kind of very reactive. Farah's kind of simple. I'd put it here. Like, yes, it's a flying character. And it's super fun, and oh my god, I get to shoot missiles and justice from rains from above. But it's like in general, like there's not really much to her kit, and it's kind of, it hasn't aged too well. Like it's very base Overwatch still, and it's you compare it to a character like Junker Queen or some of the later characters we'll get to. They have so many abilities and so many things that they can just do that makes the game more fun. Which is why I'm going to put Reaper here. Actually, I'm going to put Reaper here. I think Reaper is freaking boring. I think Reaper is so boring to play. Is he good? Sure. Is he like, oh, but Reaper's so fun when you get Death Blossom and you get to just die. Like, bro, ignore the edginess for a second. You are literally, all you were doing is shooting a gun. That's it. Wraith form, you do it to disengage or engage or however you want to use it, whatever the meta is, and then you have a TP. By the way, that TP is god awful because unless you're doing like some unexpected shit, realistically, you're not doing anything in the fight except just shooting the entire time. It's boring. Like it is. It is. It is. Like we can argue about this and that's totally fine, but like to me, it is 100% boring. I'm not even gonna lie. I love Reaper's like aesthetic. I think he's so cool. Every time I see him in shorts or cinematics, I'm like, he looks sick. But the actual mechanic, the way it plays, I'm just like, this character is so boring. That's just me. Sorry. And Sojourn, and I Sojourn's probably like the rail is cool. The bullets are neat. She's up here. I think a lot of them are B tier. Yeah, she's about in the same situation as Ash, sort of. They kind of work differently. Soldier's just COD. Soldier just does COD things. So we'll put him here. Sombra, you can have some fun with. She's a little bit of a troll. Her rework has kind of changed it a little bit. I think in general it feels different from regular Overwatch, so I'll put it up here. I think all these characters feel very Overwatchy, so I keep them here. These ones feel more like I'm gonna play this character, and then that's your experience for Overwatch for the day. Symmetra, I think Symmetra's just here, to be honest. I don't even think Symmetra's here. I think Symmetra's definitely here. She just turrets, TP. Her beam is pretty cool, but it's like, I don't know. It just feels less fun than a Zarya one. I don't know. I think it's just because I'm not like the tank and I'm not like this big gun. It's like I feel like I'm just tracing. It's not super fun. Torb. I think Torb is funny mostly because of his ult. I think his ult and some of the things the character has. Overload is pretty cool. The turret is funny. There's a lot of funny things you can do with Torb. I'm actually gonna put Torb up here. I think he's at the. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put Torb up here. I think Torb is really fun. Kind of. Maybe Torb and Mei should be in the same spot. I also don't know why I put Pharah so up. Like I would probably put Pharah like here, like somewhere here. Like these guys are in the same section. All right. Like out of DPS, I think she's at the bottom of B tier. Tracer's actually really fun, simple and effective. I think Tracer's actually it's simple and effective. Like the TP rewind. I mean, it hasn't changed since Overwatch 1, and it doesn't really need to. Widow, I'm going to put Widow C tier. I think it's super fun to be good at Widow, and I would want to be in the future, and I'll definitely work on it one day, but in general, you're just clicking heads. I know Widow should probably be here, but the thing is, effectively, it's trick shotting, which is cool. It's a first-person shooter, but that's as far as I'm willing to give it, right? Like, I mean, if Soldier's just COD, then this is like CSGO headshots. Like, we've seen it in other games. Is it particularly fun? I mean, if you're good, but aside from that, nah. Ana, I'm actually going to put Ana B tier. I think Ana can be fun. The only problem is that you have so much responsibility. So I kind of feel like that washes over the whole experience a little bit, and it dilutes like the fun of it a bit, so you're kind of a little more strained. So I'll probably put Ana here out of supports. We're in supports now, which I totally didn't even realize. BAP. Here or here? I think BAP is fun. I think the way you kill with BAP is more fun than Ana because I think it's a little more satisfying. There's something about the tac, and then having like I guess the feeling of like saving your teammate off of immortality is pretty cool. I'm trying to think. Window isn't the most fun, but at least you can engage with it. Where I feel like Nano, you're not really engaging with it. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking about this from the experience of the player, like the person playing it. Like I think in general you have more experience with BAP, like more enjoyment. I could easily put him B tier actually. We'll keep him here. Brig. Brig might be up here. I think for a melee characters, neat. I'm not great at Brig though, so I think me personally, don't take the Brig position too seriously. You could definitely put her A tier. I just think for me, I put her B. I put her B. That's just me. Um, hmm. Oh wow, I haven't played Alari in a hot minute actually. Alari's ult is probably one of the funnest things when you actually get it off and like you hit multiple people. But aside from everything else she does, it's kind of manual. I mean, like if you can land your shot, she's an A tier. But I'm probably gonna put her kind of with the rest. Kiriko, we'll put Kiriko S tier. I think Kiriko with the TPs and the kunais is pretty fun. Actually, you know what? No, I'll put her top of A tier for supports. I don't feel S tier. I think S tier's a little I don't know. There's one I would put at S tier, but I don't think it's her. It may be, maybe. We'll see. Lifeweaver. I actually think Lifeweaver is really fun. I think Lifeweaver is actually really fun. Yeah. No, I think Lifeweaver is fun. I think there's a lot of stuff you can do with Lifeweaver. There's a lot of involvement you can have with Lifeweaver here. But Lifeweaver is funny and fun. Funny because you might troll. Don't do that. But fun in the sense of like you have a lot of options and things you can do. All right, Lucio is up here. He just changes the game. You know, it's just fun. It's just fun. I mean, like, yes, you can say like, oh, you know, if you're good at Lucio, you know, if you're bad Lucio, you're gonna have a bad, you know, you're gonna be terrible for your teammates. You're gonna enjoy that. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about teammates. We're talking about your own experience. If you're having fun with Lucio, you're having a great time. You're having a great time personally. I think Lucio, no question, is up here. Mercy. I don't think Mercy's that fun. But if you're willing to do the moth tech, I think sometimes it can be fun. So maybe put her above Ana, actually. Just because I think sometimes you can be a really good troll to some people. So I'll put her up there. Moira. I'll do this for all the Moira people, but I don't really. No, you know what? This is my own list. Bro, Moira is not fun. Moira's not fun. You're not doing anything. You're not doing anything. Sorry, that was such a big switch up from A tier to C. It's just you're not doing much. Like, I'm sorry. You're holding the button. You're holding the button. You're not doing anything. You're not. You're not. You're not really doing anything. Zen. Can I be real? I really like playing Zen, but I sometimes if I really think about it, Zen is not a fun character to play as. Like at a base level, well, you know, he's fun. Let me correct myself. Zen is fun to get kills with. He's not fun to play as. I think in general, I'm like, I feel like a moving turret. That's all I feel like, which I think in general is kind of, oh, but it's weird because it works. It works though, which makes me want to put him B tier. But the kick is funny. I'm gonna put him B tier. I'm gonna put him B tier. I put all the supports in B tier. Jesus. So yes, I gotta put something else in D tier because otherwise this looks really bad. You know what? This is the list, but I'm looking at it now. I gotta spread this out because it's too top heavy right now. I am gonna put Jesus. You know what? Orisa, you're not really doing much. Like, I don't feel like there's any skill to Orisa necessarily, and Moira too as well. Like I feel like if the skill is questionable, I'm gonna put them here. Reinhardt, you know my rant on Reinhardt. It's not skill. Skill is not the problem. Reinhardt just gets bullied by Blizzard. I want Reinhardt to be up here. I genuinely want him to be up here, but he's not. He's not. So please, Blizzard, fix this. Bastion, nah, I think Bastion could take something. Sim, I don't know, maybe. Alari, actually, you know what? Thinking about it, I'll probably put Alari here because I don't think her ult counts much into this because it's not really that fun. I know people can be like, but well, Mercy only has a tether. It's like, yeah, but like at least you can annoy them as like just not being easy to hit. You know what I mean? Because everyone's chasing you and you're just like, you know, you're just running around. There's something funny about that. But in general, as a Lara, you're just jumping around, just going pew, pew, missing most of your shots, like pew, pew, and then you're letting your healing pylon do the whole thing. Like, it's not fun. I don't think that's generally fun. Although I do think her ult really makes up for it. It's just one of those things where I'm not really buying into it. Like I think at first it's cool, but in general, I'm not arguing like if she's good or not. It's just how enjoyable it is. I think it died out pretty fast. Um, but I still pick her up sometimes for sure. And I'm trying to think. Farah, does Farah go lower? Mm, not really, no, because you can push people off with her thing, and then the missiles are kind of fun. Um, yeah, and then tanks is all good. I think in general this is the list. I'm glad. Yeah, this looks better for Reinhardt. I was like, there's no way Reinhardt's on his own on D tier. I was like, these two deserve to be in D tier. He doesn't. He really doesn't deserve to be in D tier. And to all the Reaper guys, listen, Reaper's gonna get a rework. They've already talked about it. He will get a rework. They need to modernize this character. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying Reaper as a character is not cool. He is cool. I'm saying the gameplay mechanic is boring. It needs to change. Not the lifesteal, not the, oh, if you get closer, you do more damage, or not even the Wraith. The Wraith system is kind of okay. Maybe make it a little cooler. Like maybe you can go vertical or something. I don't know. But like the TP, change that. Why is that there? Like, bro, and give him maybe a third ability. I don't know. Let him have stuff. Why is a character like Soldier got sprint as just a mechanic, missile, and a healing thing, and then this guy over here is like, yeah, I got two guns and I teleport. That's it. I'm like, really, really? Like, don't get me wrong. Oh, but he has lifesteal and he doesn't. Like, no, dude, stop it, stop. Give this man some help. He needs help. That's what I'm trying to say. He needs help. Anyways, guys, that has been the list. I don't think there's anyone else I really want to put up into S tier. I think everyone in A tier. I was considering Kiriko, but I think I'm going to leave it there because I think Kiriko sometimes is a little rigid. Because in general, like, you're not really, like, the mobility is not particularly as fun as, like, Lucio. Like, I don't think you're really having a crazy fun time. I'm actually kind of tempted to put Wrecking Ball up here, low key, but I think there's a certain understanding of like, yeah, but when it's not good, it's really not good. Like when you get punished as him, it's really not fun. So I'd probably, yeah, I'd keep him there. Yeah, yeah, this is the list. All right, well, let me know down below all the raging and all the issues you guys have with the list. Be nice or don't. I'm not one to judge. Let me know down below where you guys would put these stuff. Obviously, there's too many characters, so you can do your rant for your character. Do your thing. I know how tier lists work. I like doing this because I like seeing people's reactions, whether it's negative or positive. I'm stirring the pot, but this is my honest opinion. I'm not trying to be controversial just for the sake of it. This is genuinely how I feel. So before you go like, dude, you're just lying, I'm like, I'm not lying. This is genuinely how I feel, so you can argue full front. Be honest. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy this, though, not where I put everything, but in general, me actually doing a tier list, and you like Overwatch tier list and Overwatch content, I'd appreciate if you liked and subscribed, whether you